Japan is a road filled with wind floating on the sea. It's beautiful, but Japan might not have been here minus a billion years ago. It existed here minus 40 billion years and could walk. Enemy. Some people walked away and then it got high. The horizon of a steppe became a road. Now there are many eyes because it is from the battle. So now there are people on the road. They're basically wandering between the mountains, eating the mecha cicadas and using the latest technology, stone transformation, like bones and like a dong dong ball that's in the outside world. They have the technology of the future with really good metals and crazy rice farms. Now you can make a large number of faces very quickly. It means that if you own a farm, you own a lot of food, and that's necessary for survival, so it makes you a king. The throne and the kingdom of the road have spread all over the country so far. The most important kingdom is here and there and here. It is also here, but this was also an important thing notified by the Sky Superman or briefly by the king. Please open the knock door. It's a religion. The new character wants everyone to show this new religion of Vectica. Please try to show this religion. He said no. Everyone said, try to stand and look. He said no. Everyone said quietly again. As time goes by, training stops. All the rules that came were used. The government was taken over by other means, and they made some reforms. For example, they made the government more communicable and made it like the government of China. It is a more communicable government. Hello? China. They say hello. China said around, can you call us something else like Japan? What is it like? China said. Land of water, Japan said. Then they stole the Chinese alphabet, wrote a book about themselves, and created a lot of time and art, making another book about themselves. Then they waited at the authority for a while, because they stopped moving the capital, because the emperor died. Here, then he finally made a name for himself. Gets that desk. The name is a Western-style hipster, and the diet, I'm bored. Visits China to learn a more spiritual, superior version of modern Buddhism, and returns. Reinventing the alphabet and the art and literature have caused great things for a long time. And Woko turns into a world of art dreams where they don't care about running the country at all. If you live outside of the temple, how do you plan to protect your things from the creep? Thank you in advance. It has started snowing. Important people trembled in arrow letters, and pitiful people who had no room to tremble did not tremble. In fact, it became more powerful than the government. Here we created our own military government. The emperor was still allowed to be an emperor, but in reality the general was in control. Breaking news. The Mongols invaded China. We invaded China, said the Mongols. Please respect us. Otherwise you might invade too. Okay, Japan was in the exercise. So the Mongols came and prepared for war and died in the tornado. But they enjoyed the fight with the Japanese on the tatami mat, then died in a tornado. Then the emperor tricked them off, and then later, Takeo shifts him to the strength of his hand and creates a new Takeo. And the emperor can still dress like an emperor. It's okay, now there are more arts, reducing color and burning hair together. Enjoyment of sound, tea party, prototype, architecture, story. Who will be the next general? Usually it is the general's child, but since the general has no children, he asked him to quit the monk in the dimension and become the next general. He says that the general has children, but who is who now? You will vote on your phone now. And as a result of everyone voting enthusiastically, the base caught fire and burned down. The duties actually didn't care. I tried to write it and then the whole country was scattered. The rights of the region have blood against each other and nobody knows who will win. That's Europe. No, they didn't come to rule. They just want to sell things like whips and whips. Yes, that's coming. But now everyone is trying to control the fight with guns. And now it would be nice to control hunting for humans. No one controls it. This bereaved family is ready to run away. First, I have to step on this annoying little ash. To the surprise that the small bereaved family wins, the leader of the bereaved family ties the idea of capital faith, believes the capital, and it works very well. He is hemming Japan. By the way, the person who is boasting under him kills him. Another person moving under him will kill them afterwards. And the man bureaucratizes the Japanese government, and he intimidates everyone's house and made it. And now I am invading South Korea. And he said, China of the United Kingdom, and failed and died. But before he died, he did his will to many of these 5 people, his 5-year-old son, until he was old enough to become the next ruler of Japan, and the world of 5 children. The sound of a person said, yes, it will be one of us, not this child, because I am an adult. And perhaps this person. He is far richer and more powerful than others. There are many who support him, but there are also many who support not supporting him. He has a high rice cake, and he wins and starts a new government here. The emperor, dressed as an emperor, is still allowed to have something very wonderful. Don't be confused, this is very strict in the new government. Strict enough to close the country. No one can leave. No one can return. Only the Dutch can come here to buy and sell. The entire country is not at war with itself. The population has increased significantly. Knowledge has increased. The draw has been verified. Everyone has remembered the meaning of writing. A book has been published. Single cut. They choose my screenshot time and in the program bought books from the LNG in the Netherlands and started studying European science. Dust and loneliness. Talking about impossibility, science, astronomy, and perhaps electricity. Over time, the professor's cultural versatility began to slow down. Knock knock. It is a large faction in America. The monarchist party. Towards cleaning. Stop discarding and closing the country, said America, since there was really nothing they could do. America, England. Russia has made a contract to allow Japan to visit at any time. Chashu and Sanman didn't like this. That's what they said. This is almost without external help. They defeated Meguro. Simon Amatega somehow made the emperor again and moved to the revealed capital of Tokyo. They created a new government, which was quite westernized. The new constitution was also quite westernized, as was the army. And what else was westernized? That's right, it's safe to ignore. So what can you save? They conquered Korea, drove out the previous owners, China, and a little further on, Russia appeared from nowhere to stop. No, we cannot take that. We were about to go. We're trying to bring out the fighting materials to pass the railway here. And Russia is building a railway and is being conflicted by a large number of soldiers. Download it when the procedure is complete. Said it's no good. And can Japan change that? And Russia says, how about calming down? Russia is quite scared. Russia is quite intimidating. Unexpected by anyone. It's you guys, Britain. So Japan and the UK form an alliance so as not to be a little scared of Russia, full of confidence. Japan starts a war with Russia for a moment, and both get tired and stop. The world is going crazy with weapons in the 1900s, and these empires are looking forward to trying each other, so they are trying to cause a war. In the meantime, Japan has government fund. Want more? Next, the list includes this part of China and many small roads. It was all invaded by Germany to go to France with Belgium in English. France is friends with Russia, who was preparing to kick Austria's regret. It's because Austria was ready to welcome the leader of Serbia. And since the current UK is in a fusion relationship with Japan, you understand what that means, right? Japan should take the capital, let them know in the UK in advance, because that's what they actually wanted to do. And they did it. So they spent their time in Britain, helping at key points. Now the war is over. Congratulations. Japan, because you technically joined the war, you can make a negotiation table with them. They decided who owns what. And yes, Japan can keep everything it has tied up with Germany. You can also join the post-war Grand Coalition, the National League. The mission statement is not to try to dominate the world. The physical education school is bad. The Japanese materials are terrible this time, but Genji is still in good spirits and Manchuria is invading, but the Correction League does not. If you are a member of Kushiren Mion, do not take it to everyone in the world. And Japan somehow prayed that I would do it, and Japan continued to invade more and more. He is planning to invade nature with it. This comes from Germany. It is a new creation from Germany. He has knowledge of Kula and is trying to rule the world and needs friends. It was also war in Italy. They all decided to become friends because they had so much in common. It's time for World War IV. Germany is invading its neighbor. Then they invade the neighbor's neighbor. That's the neighbor's neighbor being invaded, and they said they were Britons in Canal Street. America started helping its good friend Britain and stopped helping its friend Japan. Because our friends are not friends. They are planning to further invade the entire ocean. America is also developing a much larger pattern than anything you have ever for the greatest Yay war so far. However, they have not yet joined the war. The war looks bad on TV, and America is really starting to worry about its image. However, Japan confronts them in Hawaii and challenges them to war, and they respond with a yes. Then Germany, as a symbol of friendship, also fronts America in the war. Hence, the United States starts the war in Europe, helping gangs to drive Germany out of Germany. They also start pushing Japan into Japan. They are still interested in whether it works or not, because they are not using the button yet, so they drop it in Japan. 2 were dropped for fertilization. Thank you for watching. America has established a new government. Idea bonus boosted by the American government in the second half. Just the right material gathered, and a boost management aggressively happened. Japan begins to manufacture televisions, VCRs, cars, and camcorders. They pay as much as possible and are superior to anyone else. The economy is wild and rich, and the stone tools are running out, but I still think everything is coming quite a bit.